Welcome, everyone. I am Kira.
I am Hank.
And today we are expanding consciousness in a whole new way. And if this is the first time you're catching us, I'm really glad that you're here. I know Hank is as well, right, Hank?
Absolutely.
You know it. And so having you guys here is a beautiful blessing for us. And just want to give you a sneak peek. Look where we are. We are right down here in the Florida Keys and bringing this energy to you, this energy of flow, this energy of water, this energy of rebirth, reunion, remembrance. Now, let me ask you a question right now. Maybe bring a hand to your heart. Connection. Just taking a breath. What does that mean for you? I mean, really, when you hear that word, connection, what is true connection? And how do you know? How do you know when true connection is in front of you? How do you not know, right? And why is that so very important? And what does it call forward? What does it call forward into an aliveness inside of you? Because that's an extraordinary thing to breathe upon, because you know, have you ever felt this loss of belonging? Have you ever felt this sense of control that you have lost around you? Well, breathe in, because today we're going to dive into that as we open up Series 2.
And before we begin, let me just say, those that have been with us through the 14-part program of Series 1, the I, which is not just the I as me, the I as you, the I as you. It's who we really are in our essence. So now we're moving into the we. But again, before we start, I just want to say, for those that have been with us from the beginning, this change in hairstyle, it is not Albert Einstein. This is me.
I like Einstein. Or I.
So today, this series, as we're opening up, is entitled The We. Mm-hmm. And the we is about connection. It's about interconnection. Yeah. It's about our interconnectedness. So Webster defines interconnectedness as a state of being mutually connected or related, where different parts, people, or systems form a complex, independent whole. It implies that entities are not isolated but rely on each other, such as within ecosystems, global economies, and or personal relationships. Mm-hmm. How do you define interconnectedness? And more importantly, how do you practice interconnectedness?
Those are big questions. And so are you feeling those? Because I want to repeat those one more time, Hank. So 2 very important questions. How do you define interconnectedness? I mean, really notice that. Notice within, without any self-judgment, just how, okay, this is how I define it. This is how I experience it. This is how it works for me, right? And more importantly, how do you bring that into practical application? How do you practice that right now?
That's so true. And that connection, that interconnectedness, is such a beautiful experience. And I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, at various different times in your life have experienced that interconnectedness. It's both human interaction, it's in being, as we've talked so much about and shared all together in the last series, and fostering another to be who they are, to experience themselves, and also, with another as not in non-judgment.
I want to jump in on that. I really do, because, the release of judgment is one of the 4 steps of the alchemy of the yoga of self-ascension, right? And if you go back and you look at Series 1, and I want to remind you, make sure you've subscribed to this YouTube channel, and Series 1 is right there on the homepage of this YouTube channel as its own complete series of the I, all 14 episodes. Now, why are Hank and I encouraging that? Well, because of this moment right now, this interconnectedness moment where the release of judgment, right, I'm going to go back to what Hank was just sharing, is the gateway to 7th dimensional anchorship. Now, why is that so important in an interconnectedness conversation? Why would we want to bring that up? Well, here's why. Remember that within the realm of the 5th dimension, it's what? It's arriving into your heart. And all isms are designed to do that. Every ism is designed to have you arrive at your heart, but then what? Now that you've arrived here, now that you've anchored that, now that that energy is coming in, now what? We are in this ever-refining spiral of emergence. Well, in our interconnectedness, when we release all sense of judgment, which the heart is the foundation of the 5th dimension, we catapult. I call it the joy elevator. You go, boom, you're up, and you come right up here into the center of the crown chakra, and everything makes sense. All the pain is resolved. Everything that we held as judgment relaxes, and we are able to witness ourselves witnessing this moment right now, thereby elevating conscious awareness through the release of judgment. Now breathe that in. And if you're saying, Kira, what did you just say? I'm going to say, go back and listen to this again. And that's another reason why Hank is here, right? Because he can help you understand what I just said as well.
Well, you happen to mention witnessing yourself.
Yeah.
And you can witness yourself from within. Mm-hmm. And you also can witness yourself through another, through interaction. That sense of belonging that is so important. And, you know, over the last several hundred years, things have changed so dramatically. And although men feel the lack of that sense of belonging, I believe, you know, women feel it even more so because several hundred years ago, in their communities, they birthed together, they raised the children together, they cooked the meals together, they were in community and in support of one another and their children as a collective. And that has changed so dramatically over the last years.
Well, you know, I want to jump in on that, Hank, because one of the things that I know I've learned, and Hank has now had the blessing of experiencing as well, is the energy of the interconnectedness of Minga. Now, if you're not familiar with the word Minga, what is Minga? Minga is merely, I will come forward and help my neighbor without any expectation, without any ulterior judgment. I will come forward, I will say yes, I will do it because it's the right thing to do. And that's what's birthing with our interconnectedness right now. That's why we have the rise in AI. That's why we have
I wouldn't mind
all
having
of
a
this.
raisin.
I wouldn't mind having a raisin
A
either.
golden one, please.
You got it, senor. And so as I'm finding him some golden raisins, I'm inviting you to find the gold within you. The interconnectedness begins when we remember, I am whole. I am complete. You deserve because you were born. You would not be in this specific field of potentiality. You would not be having this experience right now. You would have not have chosen your moment of the sacred sequence of incarnation except for one reason. You already are the master. And this moment in conscious awareness is our collective moment. I think we should hold.
I hope that's not ISIS up there. Looking down. Big brother. Looking
Down. Go ahead.
as we continue to rise.
And
Up.
up. Go ahead.
So in talking earlier about that community, the bond, there is, I'll use the word strength, you can use whatever word seems to work and resonate for you, but that strength in a group, the commonality of interests, or just the understanding of what another may bring to the table in support of our weakness, your weakness. It's such a beautiful thing. And that from there, in those points, we can develop, support. There is the bond in family, the bond with your partner, there's bond with nature in those beautiful surroundings. And it's so important not to forget that we are one piece of the cog. We do not sit in a higher elevation necessarily as this beautiful tree behind us, or the beautiful water.
All of it.
All
of it. And I think that's
of
it is. I think that's important to remember. Now, why is all of that worth smiling about as we're enjoying smiling about? You think that's too loud?
Well, I don't know. Let's put it to the group. What do you think?
You guys think it's too loud?
It's an airplane overhead. There is no escape.
No, there is not. Okay, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, so
I've been ready. Well, you have
so
too.
have I.
I know. You're on a roll, baby.
Yes. Okay. So, why are Hank and I amused by all this? Why is there a smile on our face? Because we're talking about and inviting you to join this discussion with us. What is interconnectedness? Because at the end of the day, it is interconnectedness that will walk us into the depth of our humanity once again. It is through remembering that touching, holding, feeling these bodies of form, getting out, holding someone, hugging, all of these things cannot be replaced. Exactly. All of these things cannot be replaced by AI. And that when we let AI dominate, it means we get stuck. It's like that cog that got stuck at that 6 o'clock position. And what is that 6 o'clock position? Well, the 6 o'clock position is the mental. And so the mental will start justifying, the mental will start churning, the mental will take over, and you'll notice wide swings between your spiritual and emotional body, all with that mental body trying to own you. This is the moment at hand. It's not to deny that which is around you, it's to release that self-judgment that invites that interconnectedness within so that you may rise and stand in the eternal smile presence outside of self-judgment that can sincerely bring the hand to the heart and say, what in me invited this to be? Thank you. Show me how I can grow. Show me what I need to know. And when that is called forward with sincerity, love, and presence, the interconnectedness with our highest beingness comes into this body of form. The mind relaxes because it trusts you, because you are trustworthy.
That is so true.
Yes, it is.
And consider, practicing connection
Yes.
and what it really means to you. Connection to self, as we spoke of earlier, connection to another, connection to community, and feel what feels right for you. Set those boundaries that you need, not the barriers. Open those doors to fully experience yourself and to experience another for who they are in their light and who you are. Share that beauty.
Always. And Hank, I want to bring something up. So feel in your hands right now, boundary barrier. Boundary barrier. That is a powerful line. It is a power, and what I mean by line is when we are setting boundaries, when we are inviting ourselves into something, are we inadvertently using that as an excuse, or are we sincerely moving forward, sometimes with the tough choices because you absolutely love that much?
And if you don't
that's
really
important.
truly understand, where your barrier is or your boundary is,
Yeah.
boundaries are, I think, easier to experience and acknowledge and be aware of than a barrier. But if you feel into your body and into your heart, and you stay in your heart, you will feel that sense of that intuition that'll come forward. And that's a great place to start, because there's something there, and something there to look at, to feel through, and to better understand, and then potentially release. There's some beautiful exercises that one can do daily, weekly, or whenever, that allow you to just kind of sit and feel whatever it is you're feeling and truly experience what that is, and then define it, and then set it out in front of you and become it, and ask it what it needs of you, and as it presents, give it what it needs, and then you may find that it's gone. I've experienced it. I've been quite surprised not having that many barriers. That one came up for me, that was a complete surprise. And when I did that practice, and we can talk more about it at a later time in a different show, we're certainly going to talk about that and experience it one-on-one and also as a group in our retreat that's coming up, and entitled The Pathway Forward.
The opening.
So the releases are beautiful and immediate.
This is important. This is really important, because you might say, well, wait a minute. How can you say immediate? Well, here's why. Because it doesn't mean that it's magic. It doesn't mean that it's something that has like a, this, it's going to happen like this. No. What it is the unlocking of everything that you have been working on, everything that you have known, all the things that you have looked at. The yoga of self-ascension is as unique as you are. All it is a pathway forward to be able to call all that in and go deep within through those 4 beautiful, ever-refining spiral energies, which is number 1, be in union with yourself. be in union with yourself. Number 2, release judgment, beginning with yourself, right?
That can be a little challenging.
It can be.
I believe, at least in my experience, it's easier to forgive another than to forgive yourself.
Often, right?
Right.
Absolutely
But it's a
true.
wonderful practice. Forgiving, if you find it challenging to forgive yourself,
Yeah.
forgive another, and then bring it back either in that moment, after that moment, or at some point in the future, back to yourself, and begin to forgive yourself for anything that you think you may have done.
I love that. And Hank and I want to remind you that if you go to the website, iamkira.net, and scroll down on the homepage, you can get your free forgiveness practice. And it is a 7-day experience that will walk you through that journey and bring you into that true freedom of the energy of forgiveness that is at that depth of your core. And so we have 2 more. And the most important thing for you to remember as you walk this spiral, as you look at be in union, release judgment, is to be in the energy of your authenticity. To be in the energy of your authenticity. And when we are in the energy of our authenticity, that's when we start relaxing the victim triangle. What is the victim triangle? Victim, rescuer, abuser. Where you will play every role, and sometimes all 3, over and over again until you allow yourself to look into the mirror and remember the only thing you have in common with everything in your life, it's you.
And operating with authenticity
Yeah.
and integrity in the presence of another creates that opening where they begin to feel safe and feel comfortable to share about themselves in authentic ways and in integrity, and the smiles that come up and the connection that they feel energetically. One doesn't even have to say anything. It is felt that we experience it frequently.
How many times have you walked into a room and you feel it immediately, right? You might not even be conscious that you're aware of it, but you walk in, your energy shifts, or you feel something, or you're aware of your surroundings or those around you. That dismissible voice is teaching you to pay attention. You're learning how to read energy. And remember, when we have that gift, because it's a gift and it's an honor, but when we have the gift and the honor of reading energy, it's not to run up to someone and tell them what we see. Indeed, the more that you simply witness, the greater your vision would grow. And this is part of the opening as well. How are we navigating? This is why Hank and I have been called to do this in-person retreat in the absolute pristine energy of where we are in the Andes Mountains in Ecuador, one of the few places left where you can really be in this pristine energy outside of all that influence. And for you to remember and discover and then call that back into where you are right now.
And I'd love to add this,
Please.
that in witnessing another, you truly are honoring them.
Yes.
You're honoring yourself at the same time, but you're honoring them as well. And it's such a beautiful experience that that not only will you feel, they will feel, and the community begins to experience at a whole different level.
So breathe that in, because this goes back to Minga. This goes back to where we began. This goes back to that Merriam-Webster dictionary, right? That interconnectedness is the state of being mutually connected. And I want you to underline, big neon sign, mutually, because that's the gift of coming together when we each come forward and say yes.
And respectively.
Exactly. Consider that round table.
Respectfully.
Hyphen, right? Respectfully. And so that round table. Consider that each one of us, all of the kings and the queens are coming at the round table, each of us filled with the wisdom of our journey. Imagine what happens when we sit together.
A lot of things start first with being present.
Yeah.
Feeling into that presence, being present in the moment.
Yes.
And from a presence can move into an awareness, whatever that awareness may be. And from awareness, you can set an intention, whatever that intention may be. And with intention, you have the opportunity to transform and transcend.
So breathe that in, because right now today, we are together birthing Series 2, the we. And I want to just remind you that a we does not negate an I. This is why we spent 14 episodes really anchoring the I. Indeed, the strength of a we is when 2 I's come together as one.
Or 4 eyes.
Become one.
Or
Imagine.
8 eyes.
Even more powerful, the infinite presence. And so with that, consider that. It begins right here in that unified field, that interconnectiveness, that state of being of the I that brings you to the gift and the power of we. In the energy of that which is not restrictive. Remember, this is not sitting in an ism category. This is the we of creation. This is that moment of self-awareness. This is that consciousness that is indeed, as Einstein would say, outside of that which created the issue. That way we can solve it.
Ooh,
My paraphrase.
beautiful.
Thanks.
And
Take in a breath right now. And I want you to, especially your third chakra, because I'm feeling a lot of third chakra from a lot of you right now. And what's so powerful is that during this series that's coming up, and I want you to make sure and join us every Tuesday. Before you join us again, try and give yourself the gift of going through those other 14 episodes again right here at this channel at YouTube. Make sure that you're reaching out to Hank and I at iamkira.net and give us a comment. We answer all of your comments. And
we'd love to hear from you.
we really honor you. And if you have something you want us to make sure we're talking about in this interconnectedness conversation, make sure you let us know, because where are we going? We're going into the depth of that we-ness. And what is that? It's belonging. It's discovering tribe. It's true community outside of that which has ulterior motive. It's the Minga process. It's being here right now, elevating because it's the right thing to do.
And remember, this is not a one-way channel.
Exactly.
We learn from you as well.
All the
We have
time.
that beautiful opportunity to experience you as well. So thank you for joining us. Namaste.
We love you.